Konnichiwa, and welcome to the 333rd podcast of the NC Rowan County Anime Group. My name is Robert Cloud, and I'm currently the president of the group. Today, we're going over the field. So, please forgive me on this particular podcast. Like I said, we're going to talk about a number of different things. Back in February, I was at a convention called What the Hell Con, and my very first panel I went into was very small, had only 2 people in it, but we sat down, and these 2 people were from Boone, North Carolina, and they were telling me about the problems that they were having with their own anime group and how dissatisfied they were with their anime group. I listened to them and thought about it after a while. What really surprised me at first was that there was still a Boone group that was watching anime up in Boone. A long time ago, I had heard about a convention that this group in Boone was going to put on. I don't know if it's the same group or not, but it never materialized. I mean, I tried to recently went back on the internet to see what was going on with the Boone group, but there's no really updated information about them. I'm going like, oh well, c'est la vie. But they were, like I said, these 2 people were not very satisfied with the way the group was. Now, presidents and stuff like myself, it's very difficult to really judge what is the way to go at sometimes. You know, if you don't get feedback from your members, you don't really know what you want to get done or what they want to see done in the group. And I try to encourage my group to try to participate as much as possible and to give some feedback too. And it's very important that the members that are in an anime group, you know, get along and try to, you know, have a great time. When I was at Ballatrek, and this is a convention that was in Asheville, North Carolina, back in the early 1990s, I had the pleasure of meeting and still good friends with Alan Wall, who wrote the V series. And Alan told me something like this one time. He said, Robert, not every group that you are going to belong to needs to have a hierarchy, like, you know, commander or something like that. You're so used to this idea that there should be some sort of chain of command that you take away from the group. He says, if you remember a TV show called The Odd Couple, Oscar and his friends, they just went around and played cards, and that's what that group did all the time, and there was nothing wrong with that. So sometimes maybe having a command structure can also hinder you. I never really thought about it that way, but I always thought that having some sort of chain of command always was helpful to, you know, keep things organized, and also too when you're planning out special events. Now, jumping ahead a bit to another subject, On Amazement is the oldest and pure anime convention here in North Carolina. It was started in the 1990s. Now, I'm going to upset probably some people in this particular podcast about what I'm about ready to say. This is no reflection on Star Trek, but during the time when anime first started, we had gone through, like I say, a bunch of Star Trek conventions up here in North Carolina, and people were just getting tired of it. You know, let's have a Star Trek convention. Let's have a Star Trek convention. And so when Animazement first came on the scene, it was the first pure anime convention. And when they opened up the opening ceremony, since this is what I've heard, they said, well, this isn't a Star Trek convention. A round of applause came around the whole audience because they were glad to be at something different. I also believe that it's important in North Carolina, especially, to have different type of conventions. You know, have a steampunk convention like went to one back in 2008 with StellarCon, or a horror convention that they had like down in Charlotte not too long ago called Monster Bash. So I feel like North Carolina really does need to have different types of convention themes. I wouldn't mind seeing a Doctor Who convention myself. If it was a Doctor Who themed convention, that would be wonderful. Be glad to see it. But, you know, the last time I think they did have one was Hallucination 1 back in 1996. Wilmington, North Carolina. It was the last one that I attended. And that was a very small show indeed. Well, moving up a bit, I am happy to hear that, you know, there is going to be another Triad Anime Convention sometime in the near future, that plans are in the works for it. When I left the Triad Anime Convention, me and a friend stopped by this one little store, and it does have a chain. It's called Edward McKay's. And they sell used books, videotapes, um, VHS, DVDs, CDs, games. And I was able to pick up this VHS videotape. Now this is called Tattoo Master. Recommended age for it. It says on the box 15 plus. I disagree. It's got to be 16 plus. This has a lot of real cursing in it and rude language. Some bit of nudity in it. So I would recommend it for 16 up. But I would like to say this for Tattoo Master. I did like the animation quality. It's very well done. The story moved kind of quickly, and there's only 2 episodes, so I only got 60 minutes, and I only paid $3 for this little videotape. Now, this next one, believe it or not, it's called Metropolis, and believe it or not, I bought it for $1 at the dollar store recently. And this is work that was done by Tessica. And Tessica wrote this story. Now, he saw the original silent movie Metropolis and decided to do a fantasy story and base his story around the world of Metropolis. I kind of laugh at this one. When the first time I ever saw it, I go like, why did the person draw it in Monopoly characters? Not to be cruel to Tessica, but when I saw some of the character designs, I'm going like, well, did Tessica mean to salute Monopoly at the same time? It kind of went through my thoughts, but I kind of doubt it. Our next event that we're going to be at will be Free Comic Book Day, which will be on May 5th from 11 to 4. And we hope that you can come out and cosplay and have a wonderful time picking up some free comic books. Also too, as in May, we are going to be having on May 19th at the South Branch of the Rowan Public Library our celebration of Asian Heritage Month from 11 to 4:30. At 4:30, the library we're going to clean up, go outside and have a picnic, and we hope that you can attend. We already got 2 animes picked out for that one. The Clamp Detective School and Selvia. Wonderful animes, great for kids to watch. Also too, we're going to throw in a little bit of J-pop and some other little surprises as well. Then on May 30th at the main branch of the Rowan Public Library, now this will be from 6 to 8, we were going to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. That is a very mature anime. Recommended age for it would be at least 14 up. Then on June 20th, meet us at Woodleaf Lanes at 6 to 8 in the conference room, where we're going to watch Project SOS Save the Blue Earth. And then we're going to repeat this again on July 25th, which will be a Wednesday from 6 to 8, which we're going to watch Loving Hina. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this podcast today. I hope it didn't offend too many people. I wish you a very good day. Goodbye.